Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am in the homeschool classroom right now because I have about 30 minutes, about 40 minutes before I have to leave to an appointment. But I thought it would be a good time for me to kind of go through my closet here and start pulling out like last year's Easter curriculum that I did, so I can go through it real quick and see what it is that I need this year for what I plan on doing this year for Easter. That way, maybe like because after my appointment, my parents are meeting us um, to the city that my appointment is at. However, there's like a gap between after my appointment is done and until my parents meet us. It's gonna be like probably like at least a 2.5 hour gap. My Before my parents come to pick up the kids. Um, so we gotta try to find something to do in that like gap. So I decided that I wanted to go check out like Hobby Lobby and things like that. For any like Easter decor, because I do decorate my house for Easter. And while I'm there, if I need like any Easter crafts or anything like that, that would go good with homeschooling this year. So that's what I want to do during that time. So that's why I thought it was a good idea for me to go through the totes right now and see what it is that I can use again and what I can't use again. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So this is like my Easter decor tote. I actually don't really have that much Easter decorations. There's also some like Easter basket stuff in there. So that's what that is. And then, so here's some of the decor that is going to go around the house that I'm going to go ahead and put up. You can kind of see here that I have found this like Easter craft thing that I guess I didn't do last year. So either I didn't do it last year or I probably purchased this after Easter when everything was like, like 50% off, 60 and so on, when they're just trying to get rid of their seasonal stuff. So I already found one craft item there. So that's awesome. But, and please don't judge me because it's a mess. This is the homeschool closets / kind of like food pantry thing. And then I've got some more like totes there and then totes up there. Yeah, this is just like that down there is not really anything homeschool related besides this blue tote. This blue tote right here is homeschool related, but that is actually things that I've been saving that I either buy at like yard sales or from other homeschoolers that are just not something that the kids can do right now. So maybe it's like for a different level, maybe like middle school, high school. I just put it in there. So, but everything else down here is actually more of like my canning supplies and things like that. Here is Liam's science book. Like I said, don't judge me. It's a mess. But, so here is most of my homeschooling stuff. So it looks like, okay, so here's Easter. Here's last year's Easter. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that and see what's in there and if there's anything in there that I need. Okay. So I went ahead and pulled the Easter tote. Sorry about the window. But so I kind of took everything out of the closet. And I know that I have more Easter stuff than this. Like, I know I purchased some more Easter things last year than this. Like, but it's not in the homeschool closet. So I'm almost wondering if I possibly have another tote of Easter decor that I forgot about. And maybe the rest of the stuff is in there. I don't know. I'll have to go through the decoration totes to see if possibly everything else is in there. Because, yeah, I know that this is not just it. I probably won't have time to do that today. So that's kind of a bummer because that was the whole point of me doing this, was for me to figure out what I needed. But I don't really have that much time before I have to leave to my appointment. So let's just kind of go through what we do have. So we have, looks like we have the Beginner's Bible, the First Easter books here. So I will probably do that again this year. I have Benjamin's box. Again, this is probably something I will still do this year. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think we did this one last year. I don't know. I don't really remember doing this one last year. Last year's Easter was a little bit, sorry. It was a little bit, let me fix this here. Here we go. Last year's Easter was a little bit wonky because last year's Easter fell during when we were going to go on a trip. So it was a little weird last year's. So I don't know if we ever got to do this book or not. I don't remember ever getting to do it. And as I'm like skimming through it, like I don't really remember this. So I think this is probably one that we will do this year. I also have some Easter hidden pictures here that I purchased last year off of Christian Books, I think, if I remember correctly. We did do some of the pages, but we didn't do all of the pages last year. So this is, again, something that I will pull out, and this will be something just fun for him to do during like a break or something like that. So we will do this. We also have some Easter magnets, and I do know that in my in my craft tote, I do have Easter crafts. I do remember just recently cleaning out the craft cart, and I remember seeing Easter crafts in there. So I'm going to pull those Easter crafts as well and add them to this pile here, to this box. And so that's something that we are going to do as well. Right now I'm just like pulling everything together. I'll put the craft in here. I'm pulling everything together so I can see what I have. And then on a different day here soon, we will then sit down and kind of go through everything and figure out like a schedule for Easter week, for what we're going to do for homeschool this year. I kind of have an idea of what we're going to do, but I actually need to sit down and make a schedule so I make sure I don't forget anything. We will be here this year for Easter. So yeah, let me see if I can just real briefly find that other tote here. Okay, so I just went through all of my totes, my decor totes, and I did not see any more Easter totes in there. So I'm not sure what happened with the rest of my Easter stuff, my Easter curriculum. It's not in the closet, and it's not in the seasonal totes. There'd be nowhere else it would be. So I guess I have a lot to buy. If this is all that I have, then I have a lot to buy. But I know I'm missing, I know I had some more Easter books that I purchased. So I know I'm missing those. And I'm missing the most important thing that I do every year, which is my resurrection eggs. So I guess I will just have to repurchase all that. I guess if I find it later on, I will just donate it to another homeschool family. But that's kind of a bummer. I don't know where they could be. But I guess now this gives me an idea of what I need to buy, which is basically like everything. So I am going to probably place like an online order for Easter stuff and maybe go do a little bit of shopping at the craft stores, and maybe even like a bookstore or something, and see if I can find some more Easter. I just got home from running errands for the day. I had to go pick up the boys from my parents' house because they spent the night. But I did get a chance to go do a little bit of shopping the other day after I finished going through all of the totes. So I did pick up a few craft things. And right now I'm going to kind of browse around and see what I can find for Easter. So I can kind of decide what I'm going to do. And also I want to browse around and see if there's a few more things. I need to try to, I think I'm just going to have to buy a new set of resurrection eggs. So I'm going to go online and see how much it is. I don't remember how much I paid for last year, so I'm hoping it's not expensive. because, you know, as always, you always buy something. Yes. Yeah, in a little bit. You always purchase something that you've lost and then you find it as soon as you've purchased that new item. So, I'm going to go see it online to see how much new resurrection eggs are. And then I am going to possibly take a look at some more books. But I think I've got the craft done. Okay, so right now I decided to get my little notepad out. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and kind of look at the schedule, the calendar, and then figure out what I'm going to do for the week of Easter and then kind of write it down. So I kind of have an idea. And then once I get this figured out, I will then just put this in the Easter tote. That way it's in there at all times. That way I can just get it out and see it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm also going to show you what it is that I printed out for lessons for Easter. And then I'm going to show you a few of the Easter things that I picked up to at the stores as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So, I gotta pull up my calendar here. Oh, I really don't have that much battery left. Okay, so let's pull up the calendar. So it looks like, okay, so Easter is on the 20th. Okay, so we would begin with the 14th through the 18th. So April 14th through the 18th. Okay. Okay. And this is, I really have like no organization at all, like how I do school. I know there's some moms that use like planners and things like that. I've tried that in the past and it just didn't work for me. So having just like notes like this is just perfect for me. Oh, you okay, Miss Hazel? She tried to jump on the table and she failed. But anyways, so I'm going to begin with Monday, the 14th. And I kind of did this last year too. I just kind of wrote it out, what I was going to do. So that's exactly what I'm doing this year again as well. But I didn't want to spend as much time doing Easter because I really want the kids to kind of enjoy Easter. So I think for Monday the 14th is just going to be like a regular homeschool day. So regular homeschool day with just like language arts. some math, and then I'll probably do some Spanish. I did go ahead and highlight the day. I'm also gonna do some Easter reading. So Easter book, and then an Easter craft every day for sure on that week. So Easter craft. Okay, and so I think that'll be really it for that Monday. So just regular homeschool day, language arts, math, Spanish, an Easter book, and then an Easter craft. Okay, so then I'm going to do Tuesday, the 15th. And Tuesday, I think, is also going to be more of just like a regular day. I am going to incorporate a little Easter in there. So we will probably do, I think for this day, I will probably do geography. And then I will probably do language arts this day. But on Tuesday, the 15th, there's actually, I want to take the kids to see that new Easter movie, King of Kings. So that will be probably right after lunch. So that's why I don't want to do too much on Tuesday the 15th. That way we can go and see that movie. So we'll probably do some geography, some language arts. I will do their Easter book with their Easter craft. And then we'll go to the movies to go see that King of Kings. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and pull it up here. King of Kings movie. Okay, so it's this one. It's writer Charles Dickens shares the story of Jesus Christ with his son, Walter. So I think it begins with like Walter, the little kid, is like a story time with his dad, and then his dad decides to tell him the greatest story ever, which is the story of Jesus. So this is going to be in theaters on April 11th, but I think I'm going to take them on Tuesday the 15th to watch it. Because there is like, it's like discounted day on Tuesday, and also you get free, like a free bag of popcorn on Tuesday whenever you go to the movies. So I decided that on Tuesday the 15th, we are going to go watch this King of Kings movie for homeschool. And I'll put in parentheses here, King of Kings, that way. Okay, and then I think that'll be it for that Tuesday. Okay, so Wednesday the 16th. Go ahead and so for Wednesday the 16th, I did want to do some home ec. And I wanted to start teaching my oldest how to make sourdough bread. So I think on Wednesday the 16th, that's what we're going to be doing for homeschool, is we're going to be making sourdough bread. And that takes a few hours to do because I do have to let it sit. So I think in the morning we'll start making the sourdough bread. And then as we kind of let it sit and rise and all of that before we need to do, before I need to knead it, we'll just do some homeschool. And so I think for that day, I wanted to start this, so I printed this out. Oops, sorry. I printed this out on Etsy. And so I think I'm going to start this Easter unit study. I probably won't do all of it, honestly, because it's a lot. And some of it is just not really anything that my oldest has to do. Like, you know, this is just like some coloring, but some of this stuff is pretty easy. So I think on Wednesday, we're going to start the Easter unit study here. And I will link on Etsy where I got this. I'll also do a little, I'll show you it here in a little bit. I do still need to bind it. I do have a binding machine, but I've already got the front page laminated. I just need to bind the rest of it. So I need to do that. But yeah, so I think we'll start that on Wednesday after we do the sourdough bread. And this will probably continue into Thursday and Friday. So, Easter unit study. And I think that will really be it for Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to do anything other than just making the sourdough bread and then just working on this Easter unit study. So Thursday, my plan, Thursday the 17th, is again to continue the Easter unit study with Easter read aloud and then an Easter craft, some type of Easter craft. So I think that'll be it for Thursday the 17th. And then on Friday the 18th, I really wanted to do something a little bit different. Okay, so Friday the 18th, I kind of wanted to do, for every other Friday here at our homeschool, we have strictly Bible lessons. And it's every other Friday because on the Fridays that we don't do Bible lessons, we have co-op, and co-op is all day. It's from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. But this Easter week is not a co-op, so it is a Bible lesson day. So I know the Bible doesn't talk a lot about Jesus' life when he was a kid, but there is one story that we do find in the Bible. And so I decided to talk about Jesus when he was a kid. I would do the story of Jesus when he visits the temple as a kid. And for that, once again, I went to Etsy and I found this Jesus Visits the Temple, a Bible lesson for kids. It's from Poet Prince Teaching. I will have them linked. If you guys can hear my kids, I'm sorry. They are yelling upstairs. But anyway, so I thought that for Friday, April 18th, we would do Jesus Visits the Temple Bible lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Jesus Visits the Temple Bible lesson. Okay, so we will do that on Friday the 18th. And then I thought that for that Friday, I thought it would be a good idea to make little spring jello, like jello shapes that the kids can take to Easter dinner on Sunday. So I actually found these like cute little molds at Hobby Lobby for $2.49, but they were actually having a sale where it was 40% off. So I got these for like $1 something. So I picked up 2 of them, and so I thought these shapes would be so cute for us to make little jello shapes. I do have to try to find, if you don't know, we did transition to dye-free. So I am on the hunt to try to find like some dye-free like jello that we can make that's still good. So I think we will do that on Friday after our Bible lessons. We will make some jello and then pour it in here. And then the kids can have jello as a snack for later in the day. And then also take some of that jello in a container to our Easter lunch. So we will add that. So make spring jello. Okay, and then I think that'll be it for, and then of course like a craft. Although I think if I'm not mistaken. There might be a craft in this. I don't know. Maybe there isn't. If there isn't, then I will just grab one of the crafts that I have for Easter, and then we will just do that. But sometimes some of these lessons do come with a craft project. Every day we will have a craft. Oh, and then I forgot to add our Easter book as well. Although I don't necessarily know if we'll do an Easter book. We might do, like, since we're doing the Bible reading, that might just be considered our Easter book for the day. I'm not sure. And then for that will be it for really the homeschool this year of what I kind of have planned. I do have the resurrection eggs that I did order off of Christian Bookstore again, because I never did find the ones from last year. I will have a link to those also as well, but we will probably do those on Easter Sunday right before we eat lunch, or maybe even after. I will get the kids together and then we will do the resurrection eggs. So I'm not really going to incorporate that into homeschool this year. So we'll probably do that Sunday. We'll do the Easter resurrection eggs on Sunday. And then we'll also probably read one of the Easter books from last year to just a refresher. So that is what I have planned for this. Now, kind of what also another thing that I found when I went to Hobby Lobby was I found this He Has Risen. And it's like a wheel that you color, and then it comes with these little tab things that you put in the middle, and then you spin the wheel, and then it tells you the story of the resurrection. So this will be one of the crafts that we do one of the days. And then I also picked up the story of Easter, and it's a sticker book. So this will also be considered one of the crafts for one of the days. And basically what it is, it's kind of like a coloring book, but it's also like a sticker book at the same time while you're reading. If you notice, like, you're missing the stickers on here, and so the stickers are all back here. So you grab the stickers and then you just place them on there. So I thought that would be kind of something fun the kids could do while I'm reading this story. So this is quote unquote like a book / activity for another one of the days. And I picked up two of them, one for my youngest, because even though my youngest doesn't really understand, he does like to play with sticker books. And I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. It was $2.99, but again, everything Easter at Hobby Lobby was 40% off. So once again, I got it for like $1 something. So here's kind of like what it has. So it has some coloring pages, and then it has a page where you have to try to find the differences, and then it has the sticker pages along with the reading. So yeah, so word search, coloring pages, counting exercise stickers, and more. So I thought for $1 something, this would be really fun to do this year. I also have this craft that I picked up last year. So we will do that for one of the days also. I have the magnetic Easter eggs that you decorate. It does come with a magnet, so each of the boys will also do that as a craft. And as an activity, we will probably do a few more pages of this Easter hidden pictures. And then for the books that I will be reading this year is I will be reading The Very First Easter. This was something I picked up last year. I am still going to read it again this year. I also picked up Benjamin's Box last year. However, we did not do this. So I really, really want to do this book this year for sure. I really, really am interested in reading more on this book. So I'm going to read Benjamin's Box one of the days that we do our Easter week. This is a new one. I did order this one this year. I picked up He's Risen, He's Alive. I can't decide if I want to use this in the homeschool room, or if I want to add it to my oldest Easter basket. But for now, I just added it to my tote of Easter. But so you might see it in what I got my kids for Easter baskets later on, or you might not. I don't know. I haven't quite decided if I want to give it to him or not. And then also new for this year is I picked up this Bunny Double War in Trouble. This is a chapter book, and this is not a book that I'm going to finish this whole week. I feel like we've already got a lot going on for me to make room to be able to finish this book, but we will probably start it, and then we will probably just continue it the week after Easter, and then just when we get it done, we'll get it done. I did forget to mention a book that I ordered that hasn't come in, and it is called The Donkey That No One Could Ride. So this is my binding machine. So this is what I use when I need to bind. So this is a machine that I'm going to be using to be able to bind my Easter unit study here. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Okay, so it's the next day. I was able to bind this last night. I can't find my cutters, so I've got a coil hanging on like both ends. So I need to find my cutters. I have no idea where they went, but for now, it is what it is. But I wanted to come on here and just quickly do a flip through, so you are able to see what it is that I'm doing, in case you're interested. So I'm going to start off with the shorter one. Jesus Visits the Temple. Poet Prince Teaching is the Etsy shop that I got it from. So first here, it's just, again, just going to be quick because this video is already pretty long. But so here is the first page. Step 1, you read or watch the Bible story. And then it does give you some background information. And then there's a step 2, which is explore the story. So here it tells you what to do on like the next pages that are coming up, which is these two. So I'll show you those. So, yep, this is the first page. And I will say that I didn't print out every single page. There were some pages in this and even in this unit study, the Easter one, that I just knew I didn't need. So not everything is printed. I just printed off what I knew that I needed. Okay, so here is like a step 3, do the activity and the craft. And then the step 4 is the finish with the take-home worksheet. So this is a very short unit study that I should be able to get this done on Friday. Okay, so here is the next page. So this is the, right here, the step 2, the explore the story here. So it's this page and this page. So we've got the discussion questions and then Jesus as a boy in the temple here. Okay, and then we have this. This is a fun little page. It says Find Jesus. So you've got two kid Jesus here, a big one and then a small one. And so what you do is you cut them out and then you hide them. And then the kids or the students have to go and try to find where it is that you hid Jesus. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this page out. I'm going to cut this little one and then I'm going to cut this big one. And I'm going to laminate both of them because I do want to keep this long term for my youngest son when we get to the age that it's going to be his turn to do this activity. But I thought this is going to be such a fun little game to do where I hide the baby Jesus in the homeschool classroom. And then my oldest goes to find them. And then once he finds them, it's his turn to hide them. So that's a fun little activity. So I really liked that they that they did this. And it goes perfectly well with the story too. Okay, so the next page Okay, so here's the next page. So my Hazel girl, of course, she decided to hop on the homeschool table. Anyways, so here is the next one. It is like a Bible verse up top and then a coloring page here. So if you want to go ahead and color, and then you color down here. So this Bible verse is the NIV version, and then it does come with other versions as well that, if I'm not mistaken, I did not print. So I like the NIV version. I think it's the easiest for my son to understand, so that's why I only printed out this one. But I think it comes with other versions of this page if you wanted another version of it. So like a little coloring sheet, like this is like the craft part. So there's that. And then here's some more coloring. And then we have memorize this. So I would assume it's probably memorizing the verse. And then here is the big idea. What does the story teach us about God? So here is just something small that they can write in. But if they need the help, then you have this page, which is actually, I guess, more of like the answer. So here is the verse that they have to memorize and write it down. And then what does the story teach us about God? This is more of like the answer they're wanting. But I mean, if your kid has their own answer, I'm sure it's perfectly fine for them to just write in their own answer. But this is the answer sheet for this page. And so that is it for this. On top of doing this, I probably will do like a YouTube video on Jesus Visits the Temple, since this isn't very long at all. I'll do like some type of a video that he can watch or something like that after we've done this. So this is Jesus Visits the Temple. And now I'm going to move on to the Easter unit study. So this is a longer unit study. I don't necessarily think I'm going to finish it all, and I don't necessarily think I'm going to have him do all of them. And you'll see why here in a little bit. So this is the front page here. Love it. It's such a cute front page. I went ahead and laminated it. So yeah, so cute. So the first page here is your book list, and this can be for pre-K, and then it does go all the way into high school if you wanted to. So even though there is some pages here that are just way too easy for like high schoolers, there are other things in here that a high schooler could learn. So here is the book list. We have pre-K to kindergarten. Then we have the book list for grades 1 and 2, grades 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 through 12. So just some books that would go good with the unit study. Next is some Easter words. This is going to be good for my oldest. He still needs to work on his penmanship. So that's why I am going to keep this page. I am going to have him trace the words, and I might even do a couple of them as spelling words. So that's the next page. Then we have some more copy work practice, and this is a Bible verse. So I'm going to go ahead and trace that. Next is like a letter thing. This and this one, I think one more. And this, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to have my oldest do this. This is probably just way too easy for him. He just needs to trace the word and then move on. So I don't know. I kept it in here in case I wanted him to do it, or in case he wants to do it. I kept these pages in here, but I don't think I'm going to have him do this for now. I'll let him decide. Next, we have the history of Easter. And then again, we have the history of Easter, but this is for younger kids. So this is more of like for the older kids. There's more words that the older kids would probably understand better than the younger kids. So they do have a younger kids version. And again, here's the origin of Easter story. Next is Easter around the world. So they talk about a little bit about the Easter and how it's celebrated around the world. So we have the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, Italy, Spain, Greece, Sweden, and Finland, Philippines, Poland, and Ethiopia. So that's something really neat. Again, not too much information, but it's probably just still some neat to kind of compare and contrast how some of the other places around the world do Easter. Next is we have the religious significance. So this talks about the religious aspect of it. So again, really, really beautiful page. I love it. I know this is a lot of ink, but for me, it's worth it. I love seeing the colors and the pictures. To me, it's worth the ink. But I know for some people, it may not be worth the colored ink, and that's okay. Next is we have some symbols of Easter. We will probably talk about some of these symbols. I don't know if I'll necessarily talk so much about the Easter bunny and the Easter eggs. My focus is to really focus on the religious aspect of Easter. So, of course, we're going to talk about the symbol of the cross, the lamb, the palm branches, all of that. So that is the next page. Then we have traditions. And so this is just different traditions that people have during Easter. Some more traditions. Then we have resurrection, where it talks about the resurrection here. Again, beautiful, beautiful color and picture. I love it. So I'm really happy with this. So we talked about the resurrection here. And then once again, the resurrection for littles. The resurrection might be kind of a hard topic for littles to understand. So I do like that they added the resurrection for little kids, where it's more of how they can understand it. Love that. Next is we're going to talk about the anatomy of a bunny. We do have bunnies here at our house. We have two. They are called Beta and Bodhi. So it'll be nice for me to talk about the anatomy of a bunny with my oldest, and that way he knows what the anatomy of his bunnies are. And then here we have where you fill it in yourself. Here's the words up here. You cut them out and you glue them where they belong. Okay. And then it looks like we have a happy Easter here, like a little poster type thing is what I'm going to assume it is. So I might actually cut this out and laminate it and then possibly stick it somewhere in the homeschool classroom. I think that would be neat. If I don't stick it this year, I will probably just cut it out, laminate it, and then stick it in the homeschool classroom next year. I will be doing a video on me kind of decorating the homeschool classroom for Easter, so be on the lookout for that. Next we have is the life cycle of a rabbit here, and it talks about the cycle. So you color it, you cut it out along the outer lines, and then you fold it, and then it turns into, I guess, like a little foldable pamphlet thing. Once again, here is the life cycle of a rabbit. Here is the page, and here is for them to cut it out and glue it. Next is a would you rather, just a fun little thing that you and your kids can do, and they can circle which one they would rather do. So just a fun little activity. And then we have a finish the phrase. So your kids have to go ahead and finish the phrase. Easter what? Rabbit what? And so on and so on. So Easter, first thing that comes to mind for me is Easter basket. Okay. Rabbit hole, and so on and so on. So another activity. Here we got an Easter candy dice game. So you will need a dice for this, and it looks like it says each player starts with 4 pieces of candy, and the rest of the candy goes in the middle of the table. You take turns rolling, and the first to 10 pieces wins. This is definitely a game I want to do with my oldest. He's going to really enjoy this game, especially when there is candy involved. So, of course, each number corresponds to what you have to do. You either lose your turn, you take a piece, you steal a piece, and so on and so on. Next is we have some Easter trivia. It looks like it kind of cut off down here. So, but here is some good Easter trivia. Got some more Easter trivia. Again, beautiful picture. And here is the answer key to that trivia. Here we got connect the dots. Pretty self-explanatory. Connect the dots. And here we have some crossword. Sorry, not crossword puzzle, but some find. What is this called? I forgot. My mind just went blank on what this is called. But yeah, find the word. Whatever it is. I want to say it's crossword puzzle, but I know that's not it because I know what a crossword puzzle is. But anyway, so we've got some of those. We've got 2 of them here. And then we have a maze. You got to help the bunny get to its basket. And then we've got some dot marker pages. I probably will not do, I don't know. I might have him do this, or I might just have him color this in with markers. The dots are kind of small for the dot markers that we have. So I think it's actually going to probably be messy to use the dot markers that we have because the dots are so small. I don't know. I'll leave it up to my oldest to decide if he wants to use the dot markers or not. Okay, and then here we have a read and color. So I think I will have my oldest read the word to me just so I know that he can read the word, but I don't think I'm going to have him do coloring on this page because there is a lot of coloring already. So might just read the words and move on from this page. And here we go. Here is some more coloring. These are some bookmarks. I think I do want him to color one of the bookmarks, and then after he is done coloring the bookmark, I will cut it out and laminate it, and he will have a bookmark for his books. Next is a roll and draw. If we have time, I will do this. If not, I am going to skip this. But again, each number of the dice corresponds with what you will be drawing. You roll 4 times, and so on and so on. So. Okay, and here's again a roll and draw. Oh, I think this was supposed to go before this page. I think I must have accidentally flip-flopped the pages. But anyways, this is pretty self-explanatory to me. But if not, here is the instructions on what to do for the roll and draw. Next is copy work with practice. Now this is in cursive, if you can see it. I have not started cursive with my oldest yet. He is still a little too young for cursive. So this is not something I will be doing this year. I will save this page and I will do it another year when he is older and starting to work on cursive. Here we've got some recipes. We got Easter bunny pancakes, and then we've got Easter egg Rice Krispie treat, and then we've got fruit and cheese Easter skewers. And then some bunny baked. And then I think if I'm not mistaken, from here on out, the rest of the pages are all just coloring pages. Once again, we will not be coloring all of the pages. I will have my oldest pick the pages that he wants to color, and whatever he doesn't color, I will color. So I think, once again, what I'm going to do is once my oldest has colored the pages, I will probably cut it out and laminate it and use it for Easter decoration for next year. And so that is, yep, and then we have the true meaning of Easter to close this Easter unit study off. So that is it. That is the 2 unit studies here in case y'all were interested in seeing what they were, in case you wanted to look for them yourselves. But that is it. That is all I'm going to be doing for Easter this year. So I really love Easter. It's such a colorful holiday. Colorful, fun, and exciting, and very, very important holiday to us here in the Cunningham homeschool classroom. So this video is so long. I am sorry for that, but make sure you are on the lookout for my kids Easter basket video. I will be filming that soon. That will be up, and until next time, thank you so much.